Welcome to this month's Midstream Connect featuring transportation with a highlight in the Bakken. I'm your host, Heather Houghton. Before we get started, I want to take a moment and thank everyone who made this episode possible. Transportation of crude oil is a key factor in break-even costs and making a play economical. In fact, part of the reason the Bakken has struggled through the downturn is because of transportation. Experts and analysts predict the future of transportation of crude is leaning more and more on pipelines. Because of safety factors and economics, crude by pipeline is ideal. We spoke with Stratas Advisors Midstream analyst Garry Banda about transportation in the Bakken. Let's listen in.
With Dakota access now in service, what will the pipeline's impact be on Bakken economics?
We believe it's going to be a positive impact. Producers in the region now have a high volume, low cost method of transporting crude oil to markets in the Midwest as well as the U.S. Gulf Coast and potentially international markets through U.S. Gulf Coast export terminals. Now that the Bakken has a reliable outlet, we do believe it increases the odds of production growth in that region. We have seen shipper interest actually increase on the pipeline from the time it was initially introduced. Initial capacity was at 450. After open seasons, it increased to 470. And by the time the pipeline came online, initial capacity was at 520, which is actually more than 50% of the production in that region. The pipeline still has about 50,000 more barrels to reach maximum capacity, so it still has a lot more to offer to Bakken crude producers.
Will it alter what is considered a break-even price?
Seeing that the alternative mode of transportation is crude by rail, which is more expensive, we do believe it increases the chances of reducing break-even prices.
What is the outlook now for crude by rail?
We still think it's going to be used in regions that do not have pipelines, or they will be used whenever there's some kind of disruption on the pipeline. But I don't think it will go back to the 2013, 2014 years when it was at its peak. Those years are gone.
What impact would the restart of several pipeline projects mean for crude transportation over the next few years?
It will mainly depend on production growth. If there's a production growth, then definitely there will be pipeline investments. And we've already seen an openness to this government that encourages for better infrastructure in order to keep the economy moving ahead. And seeing that pipelines at the surface and cheapest mode of transporting crude on land, we could see more pipeline projects.
We want to thank everyone who made this episode possible. Next month, we focus on technology with a highlight in the Permian. Until next time, let's stay connected.
To stay up to date on the most recent Hart Energy videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking here.